Give us 30 minutes each week to discover the trends that are shaping the future of retirement with That Annuity Show. We bring you conversations with industry leaders who are revolutionizing financial products, technology, and distribution channels. Now, here's your host, Paul Tyler.
Hi, this is Paul Tyler, and welcome to a different type of That Annuity Show episode. And this is actually part one of three. The interviews were all done on the floor of InsureTech Connect in Las Vegas last month with about 10,000 other close friends of mine. And we actually recorded the shows from the booth of the CT IFS, otherwise known as the Connecticut Insurance and Financial Services booth, with our friend and partner, Susan Winkler, who's Vice President, Executive Director. Susan, thanks for joining us.
You're very welcome. And listen, I would also say the AKA booth, Insurance Capital of the World.
Yes.
We hang that banner with pride there.
Yeah, it was easy to tell people, where are you? That big booth that says banner that says Insurance Capital World, that's where you come to get recorded.
You bet. And we were so thrilled to have you with the podcast as part of that, as part of our booth this year.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was fun. It was actually, had a lot of great people come by, and it actually took a little bit of time to think through how to organize this and synthesize the topic. So this first episode is all about AI. And Susan, you were out in the forefront of saying, look, AI is important for the insurance community. Didn't you make that the focal point of your major event I think it's 2 years ago, right?
We did. We jumped in early a couple of years ago saying this is what we know what's happening. We know that the industry is leaning into that. It was at that point we were looking at Gen AI actually for the theme of that program. So yeah. I think everything is AI. Everything everybody's talking about, but I think insurance is going to be part of every part of AI. Everything is risk. We are great aggregators of data, and we understand risk best of all. And we're a highly regulated industry, so we should be the ones that are leading in and leading.
Yeah, well, we should. Well, listen, I have 5 great guests here, and feel free, if you're listening to this, you can fast forward. You don't have to listen to absolutely everything, but the conversations are great. The first one was an interview with Nagesh Cherukupalli, who's a Senior Vice President, Head of Partnerships at Cognizant, and had a chance to get to know the people at Cognizant a little better. And he basically sets up a real interesting framework, Susan, for thinking through how to implement AI. And I think one of the points I think that comes out in all these interviews is just the importance of partnering. I mean, I think you've probably seen this with the work in Hartford, right?
Right, over and over again. I think that it's such a colloquial word, partnerships, right? And but I think it is such a integral part of going forward. You can't do this alone. You have to do it together. And Cognizant and that Nagesh and his team, they were there, I think, on Tuesday, right? I think they had a pre-event.
Yes.
Talking about partnerships and AI. So I think they're leading in that example.
My name is Nagesh Cherukupalli, and I head the financial services business for Cognizant in North America. I'm based out of New York.
New York, excellent. Well, yeah, I've worked with your team at different companies. You have a very, very good company, a lot of committed employees. Huge conference, 10,000 people, a lot of companies, a lot of BDs. What's caught your eye here in terms of themes, ideas?
Absolutely. So if I go back and look at some of the conference last year, right? I think we've had a lot of conversations around Gen AI and what the power of AI, but it was kind of a fatigue, right? People have been hearing that through entire 2023. They wanted to really see something. What really caught my eye this time is the real use cases that are either being in proof of concept or being deployed. If you actually look at some of the startups, right, whether it's Conver or any of those startups, that they are now partnering with some of the large carriers and deploying their products, and they are actually deploying at scale. And there are many use cases. I mean, I think underwriting definitely is something that's that caught eye for me. I mean, that's something that every client has a challenge with, and they're working on. Claims is another area that we're looking at. Onboarding is a big focus area, and of course the overall beyond efficiency, now people have started focusing on experience. How do you actually use some of these technologies to improve the overall experience for the end clients? Because now this is one technology that disrupted and made sure that it's available to the masses before the enterprises actually got access to the technology.
No, absolutely. You mentioned partnerships. I've got a view. I mean, what's your view on how companies should partner or vendors should partner with other vendors to actually deliver these types of solutions?
Absolutely. I mean, that's where I think Cognizant has always been in the forefront, right? If you actually go back and look at it, right, how we have partnered with some of the large players like the Guidewires and Duck Creeks. What we've also done is very unique and different is, brought some of the small boutique tech players. This is, I'm talking about 10, 15 years back when InsureTech were still not there, right? You've got many tech vendors, and we have been able to actually bring some of those guys, build solutions around domain-specific solutions, some of the gaps that existed in these large platform players, and then help integrate all of this and provide a comprehensive solution to our clients. Right. So I think going forward, my view is this is going to continue to expand. There will be more and more partner solutions that you would have to bring together and actually deliver. So we consider ourselves being that intelligent orchestration ecosystem player, right, who can bring that ecosystem, the power of ecosystem together and then deliver the right solution for the clients. So I think that's going to happen, and partner solutions are going to be there, and that's the only way you can actually it's your quick time to market, to be able to get onto the target state quickly, to launch your product, be it launching new capability or enhancing your existing products, right? That's the only way to do it going forward is my view.
Interesting. And put you on the spot. Give us your big prediction for 2025 in the insurance industry.
So I would say there are a lot of things that would happen. I mean, we have been talking about continued focus on the kind of capabilities or the products that we are seeing coming out of InsureTechs. We will see more and more of those InsureTechs emerge. Again, this would be predominantly on the underwriting side and using AI in the underwriting side. I think that we will see a lot more focus, and also on the risk side, right? Understanding and assessing the risk. I think that's where I would see a lot more investments that would go in. The way I put it is, the predictions for FY25 and beyond, I would put it in 3 I's. We're talking about insurance, so it's 3 I's, right? A lot of focus around integration. When I mean integration, whether it's the carriers, whether it's providers like us, or whether it is the InsureTechs, all of them will come together, and they will have to work towards integrating the various pieces together to come up with the best of breed solution and being able to take it to the market quickly, right? We today have a level playing field, and there are so many products that are out there in the market. It's about bringing all of them together, looking at what is the best in these products and how can we actually integrate and take that to the field, right? The second important aspect, it would be the whole insights. The second I is all about insights. How do you actually derive insights from the data that you have? And that's today fragmented, and many insurance companies still need to capitalize and monetize on what the data that they already have in the ecosystem. So it's about insights. And the third aspect that we all talked about, right, is the intelligence. What kind of intelligence that you are able to gather from that, and how are you able to use it to be able to better serve your clients? See, I think the last one that I would say is there's going to be a lot more focus. I mean, insurance is one segment where clients need it when they are actually in a desperate position. I mean, this is something that's more close to a human. There needs to be a lot more human-centric approach that needs to be taken when it comes to insurance.
The moment of truth.
Moment of truth, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, no, absolutely. I like the 3 I's. See if I got this right. Integration, insights, and intelligence. Did I do it?
Absolutely, you got it.
I got it.
You got it.
Okay. Thanks so much for coming by, and look forward to staying in touch.
Thank you very much, Paul, for inviting me. Thank you.
Okay, well, listen, the next episode is, or next recording was with our friend Neeraja Rasmussen, who's the founder of SpyGlaz AI. And she came to us, this must have been like 5 or 6 years ago, Susan, when we launched our accelerator. Wasn't part of the official accelerator, but joined ours. And you've worked with Neeraja a lot, right, over the years.
I have. We are so glad to have her as part of the Hartford ecosystem.
Yeah, she's been great. She talks about where her business is, but she also talks about her commitment to helping other women, especially women founders, break into this market. And it's a tough one, male or female. It's hard to be a startup, right?
Yes, it is. You got that and women on top of that. But her application is just so stellar, and we'd love to hear from her and how she does the optimization, and she's looking at bringing that to a larger audience, right? That's always a goal of a startup. But she's got a tried and true and tested product, and we're just happy to be able to provide her some more support.
Yeah. Well, okay. Next, so we've heard from Neeraja about being a startup selling back to insurance carrier. Turns out we were turned into one of her clients, which is great.
I'm Neeraja Rasmussen, and I'm the founder of SpyGlaz AI. And SpyGlaz AI is a sales growth platform built for the life and annuity industry.
Yeah, well, I actually know and understand it very, very well because we were a client of yours at my prior employer.
Yes.
But maybe I'll set it up this way. I was at SureFi's Life and Annuity, pre-event conference. You gave a great demo. Loved your video. Tell people, what was the demo about?
Yeah, absolutely. So we were delighted to be one of the finalists at that Innovation Award, and the demo was really about sharing with people the opportunity that we saw in founding SpyGlaz AI and building for the distribution space in life annuity. And so the life and annuity market is very large. It's over 400 billion annual sales volume, well over, and you could say about 20 billion plus of that is net income for carriers. And however, insurance also has the highest customer acquisition costs of any industry, period. And it is very, very expensive to get customers, and wholesaler efficiency is a big expense that impacts profitability. And that's the opportunity that we saw, why we said we really want to be in this space, because we think we can make an impact here and use AI to optimize wholesaler efficiency. So our platform does things like predict future top producers, predict top producers at risk, new agent discovery, new agents most likely to be successful, selling your products, and we do all that using AI, or more specifically, machine learning.
Yeah. People don't realize how much effort it is to attract the right kind of agent, keep the agent satisfied, and keep them productive as long as they can. And I think you put a number up. I think you said it was around $200,000 to recruit an agent. Is that the number you described? I think the value of an agent.
Yes, I mean it is, and I'm sure it varies depending on the type of agent, type of product. I do know annuities. It's probably a lot more expensive because it's such a specialized product. And finding the people that can sell, the producers who can sell those products effectively, I imagine it's going to be more expensive.
Yeah, well, listen, thanks for the work you did for my prior company, and I'm glad it's continuing, because we want to take good care of our producers. I know you're doing a lot more in the industry. You've been doing a lot of work creating communities for women, starting companies in the insurance. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say that's a personal passion of mine, which is to bring more women into leadership positions in insurance and financial services broadly, make it more diverse. I'm a woman of color and immigrant, check a lot of those boxes, so it's personally meaningful to me. And I sit on the advisory board of a great organization called the American College of Financial Services. It's an old organization, and I am on their Women's Center Advisory Council and support their mission to just bring more women into leadership positions. There's another great organization I support called Women in Insurance and Financial Services. SpyGlaz AI is actually a sponsor of their annual conference that's happening in Philadelphia this week, same time as ITC, and I think I'm going to just continue doing more of that because it's just personally meaningful, and it's you're building more diversity in the community, and that's a good thing to do.
Hey, well, thanks so much for all you've done for our prior company and what you're doing for for women here.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks so much for having me on this podcast.
Thank you. Longtime associate friend of mine from several companies back was Kumar Das Gupta. We found him at the event, and he is pushing innovation from another direction, which is from a carrier going out. They made some really interesting venture investments, but Kumar has also been leading a lot of the internal innovation as well. And I think, again, coming back to Hartford, I think people like Kumar really are important to encourage and pull startups into the business.
Yeah, I think he gives a great example of taking, a technology and putting it inside the enterprise. What do how do you navigate that, right? And he is terrific in giving those kind of.
Sure. Paul, good to see you. It's been a long time.
Very long time.
Kumar Das Gupta. I'm with Allianz Life here in the U.S. I'm based out of Minneapolis. I am their head of operations. So my job is to basically make sure every policy that we issue and every policy that we administer is taken care of.
Yeah. Well, this is a little like Old Home Week. You remember all the online applications we did back at a prior company. I mean, I think we were a little ahead of our time.
Yeah, we were. Remember that 35 billion number?
Yes. Goes a long way back. So, okay.
Long way back.
Fast forward to 2024, InsureTech, didn't exist back then. Look, it's eating the world. What stands out to you at the either vendors you've seen, topics you've heard, people you've run into here at the conference?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like you, getting to see old friends, old colleagues has been great. This is my first time, so I'm a ITC virgin. First time ever here. I've heard a lot about it, but what I'm excited about, what I've seen so far is innovation that's happening here is in this space is ridiculous. I mean, who knew back when we were together working those years ago that there would actually be a giant conference this size on insurance technology? Like no way, right? So what's exciting about this is how all of this advancement's coming together, and you can actually speak to so many different companies, get a feel for what they're doing, what they're bringing, how they're thinking. So just a little side thing maybe with Allianz, we have our own venture capital that we basically go out and invest in startups. So we are kind of a venture capital. We have our own set of money, so we seed companies. So part of me being here is I'm helping our venture team talk to certain companies and see are they worth, so I'm asking them about what they're doing, how it impacts us, and does it make sense for us to kind of take it to the next step. So there's that, but then also just seeing old friends, and also, the Surefies of the world, you've got the McKinseys, you've got like every bit of everything here, and you get to kind of talk to them and see what's going on.
Yeah, now I think I know some of the companies you've invested in. Is that public information?
Yeah, it's public, yeah.
Yeah, now let me try to run down the list. Cover.
Yep, Cover.
Cover. Mike Kalin has worked
Talked
with
to him yesterday. Yes,
Mike
yes.
a lot here.
Yep.
Yeah, and let's see, Life Yield. I think
Life. No, we did Cover. We have Ladder. Maybe you're thinking
Mike
Ladder.
Rudy.
Yes.
Mike Rudy.
Yeah,
Trevor.
Mike
I saw Trevor present.
Trevor. Yep.
He's actually been on our annuity show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So we have and it doesn't have to all be insurance. We'll also do other non-insurance. So we're currently talking to Empathy. They're
Ron Gura.
Toronto.
Another guest
oh, nice.
on the annuity show.
Yeah. Talked to him yesterday for a while. So we're going to do a little proof of concept with them. Looking forward to that. So what I really like about this is the ability to see how the selfish piece of this for us, for me and my job, is to see if that concept can work for us. And if it makes money, great for the company. But then for us, if there's some automation and something we can bring in, why not, right?
Hey, very cool. By the way, thanks for doing it, because I think you've really pushed innovation as a company farther than a lot of other companies have done. So I think it's great stuff. 2025. So talk to us about what are the challenges, opportunities you see either for the company, for the industry.
So I think everybody, all of us, as you know, Paul, we've had to endure that low interest environment for so damn long, right? At least now, these last 2 years has been a great spike up into 10-year, and that obviously has spurred lots of different products. It's, feel like some products have come out of the dead and all of a sudden they're running like crazy, right? Like MIGAs and so forth. But it's what we are looking forward to is probably some dip in interest rates, and then what do we do to be able to address that? How do we keep market share? So for Allianz Life, it's given we're mostly indices, we build our products out of our indices. It's going to be important to see what happens with what happens with pricing and how we're going to. Right. So there's that aspect of it from a company, from the industry, but then for us, we are going into a 3-year transformation journey with our operations, and really our focus there is how can we straight through automate, straight through really help the consumer be able to take care of their needs much quickly, with higher quality and so forth. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
No, very, very cool. Yeah. Hey, listen, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll stay in better touch here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Thanks, Paul.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Yeah, next up, John Keddy. I'm working for Zinnia. John actually worked for a sister company as I think he was CTO or CIO for security benefit for a number of years, and I talked to him a lot about innovation, and he too took a job with a startup, very well funded and successful startup in other areas that brought their technology from government applications, so you can't make this one up, to life underwriting. Okay. So they actually built their own foundation model and allow underwriters to actually talk to the medical records, talk to the x-rays, talk to the doctor's records.
So important. So important. You try to navigate healthcare in itself personally. Having a technology tool to give you some kind of guidance, efficiencies, and of course you want trust in there too.
Yeah. So I'm super impressed. Super impressed.
Hey, Paul. Great to see you as always. John Keddy. I work for Lazarus AI. I work on their insurance strategy and solutions. It's still early morning here in Las Vegas, but it's insurance strategy and solutions. We are an AI technology company. We build our own foundation models and language models and associated technologies, and we get great traction in the insurance industry.
Yeah, well, you've gotten a lot of buzz, and I think you bring a lot of credibility personally to the effort. Tell us what's life underwriting going to look like in the future? Paint a picture for me.
Absolutely. So I'll do life underwriting, but I think anyone listening to this should think about this as a model for all processes. Where we see the world going is digital coworker, and we don't mean the traditional, what people have defined to date as being a digital coworker. We mean truly an AI coworker. And copilot's an interesting term. I actually don't like copilot so much. It sort of implies that the technology can just take over. At Lazarus, we strongly believe in human and technology balance. So let's go to life underwriting and play that analogy through a little bit deeper. In life underwriting, what we see is a lot of the mundane tasks being taken away and being done by the technology. Anything around ingestion, collection, summarization, extraction, any of those tools, an underwriting nor an underwriting assistant should be wasting any time on. It's obviously, as underwriting gets more and more complex and challenging, there's all what we'd say in our world, many modes of input. We can easily handle all that today, right now today, whether video, x-ray, images, handwritten documents, very structured, well-written documents, all of that can be ingested, can be taken, and an underwriter can have a conversation with this multi-modes of documents as if they were talking to a person. That's all available today. All of those things go to AI and stay with AI. The distribution relationship, the product vision, the consumer understanding, that stays with the underwriters and with the humans. That's how I see the world progressing.
Okay, so it's going to hallucinate. It's going to make up health problems. It will see things that don't exist.
I really appreciate that question. So I don't know if we're allowed to use names on this podcast, so I'll just say it rhymes with ChatGPT. Has been a blinding light. And I don't know if it's been more blinding or enlightening, to be candid. So specifically, OpenAI and their go-to-market and their model has created a lot of confusion. I assure you, every AI company and every AI model does not work that way. So a lot of the rightful confusion that people have about purely generative solutions and hallucinating is legitimate and should not be used in heavily regulated processes. Our approach at Lazarus is far more what I call extractive AI. We use some generative techniques, but we're not purely generative. We stay focused on the domain of what has been given to us. Our answers or an input and output is on the domain of what has been given to us, not free association or writing haikus about underwriting.
Got it. Now, I'm the CFO of a company, or actually, I don't know, chief. Maybe I'm the actuary, with the, trying to figure out the decimal places, my pricing strategy here. So it costs money to put something in like this. How do I cost justify this? How do I build a business case to bring your company into my organization?
So very, very important question. With all technology, people should be focused on CBA, and today the fact of the matter is good AI is not cheap. So absolutely all organizations need to be thinking about the CBA. Believe it or not, within the last 15 minutes, I just talked to a company, was very candid with them. If this is your problem, AI is probably not going to work CBA today. The economics are going to change dramatically over the next 24 months, but you are correct. Today, CBA is a real issue. So here's what I would say. Start thinking broadly and holistically enough. If you're thinking about taking 1/3 of a cent out of one activity or process, the reality is the CBA is not going to work. If you're willing to go back to the model we first talked about in the life underwriting question, saying AI is going to be part of my workforce, but I still need humans, and I need to just adjust the balance, but I'm willing to change the fundamental process and activity and the way we do things, the CBAs will work with the right technology partner. With the wrong technology partner and hallucinations galore, the CBA is never going to work.
Yeah, I personally believe the AI will fundamentally rewrite our insurance industry. But to your point, it's not going to just be like buying another piece of a technology stack. You have to think about reinventing your business processes.
Exactly right. So last year AI was coming online. I was talking to a lot of executives and board of directors. I said at some point it feels to me like the t-shirt got milk, and everyone wants to say got AI. And I said, no, that's entirely the wrong model. It's exactly what you just articulated, Paul. AI is going to transform our technologies. It's going to transform our industry. It's going to transform our economy. We have to bring a different paradigm and model to leverage and partner. Now, the other thing, let me go back to the CFO, and you may be going there. You may say, well, what about risk? What about the ERM committee? What insurers have got to start thinking about is flip the model of AI is risky. AI is risky. Like God said this on the 8th day. It's flip the script and think about how do we use AI to reduce risk. That's what ERM leaders, that's what chief actuaries, that's what CFOs should be thinking about. They should be demanding of the organizations, I want to use AI in conjunction with workforce to reduce risk.
Yeah. Well, listen, thank you for your time. Great company. I think you're going to take this place, company a long way. I don't know. What's your any ahas? Any cool things you've seen here at this show so far?
So, no surprise, AI is just nonstop conversation. I'm so glad I got to escape for a few minutes and come over and talk to Zinnia, which is always a pleasure. I think one of the largest aha moments is that it does feel to me the conversations I'm having here are not going back to gut milk. It's not gut AI. People are asking very specific questions about use cases. We're explaining how we can solve them. Exactly where you went, CBA, how do we create value? Those are the conversations we're having, and that's what I'm most excited as I depart this conference.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by. Finally, Brent Williams.
Yay, Brent.
Brent. Brent is a dog with a bone when it comes to looking for problems to solve in the insurance space. And again, another plug for the insurance capital of the world, Susan.
Yep.
It came to Hartford. I think Benekiva is one of the big success stories. I mean, they found a niche that probably sounded boring to people, claims.
Probably, but it's not.
No, incredibly important. And, he talks to us about implementation, kind of full circle from where we started with Nagesh.
Yeah, I first of all, they what a team too. He's going to talk about the technology, of course, and implementation and how successful they've been, and again, supporting their success. But he has a nice perspective, I think, that you're going to hear on how he ties back things to the work that they do, how they, what is the journey? What is their journey? Really excited in that AI space, innovation space, and how they continue to go forward. One thing I like about them is they're constantly moving. They're constantly changing. They never, everybody does that, but I think they're a great example of a company that is continually being very nimble and innovative.
And first of all, great to see you.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
It has been a little while. Hearing great things, as usual about your company.
Yep.
And I think you were kind of one of the first companies I saw that actually said, let's start with problem and then come up with a solution.
Absolutely.
Lots changed. You think back to the first ITC I think we were at, you had a little
kiosk in the back.
Yeah, you had like a cubby hole.
Yeah, just a little nothing back there, yeah.
Yeah, so fast forward to 2024. I mean, how would you describe this one versus other events we've had like this? Yeah,
this one, it's interesting because we scaled back a little bit this year. We found when ITC told us that they were going to have more vendors on the pre-day, we decided not to invest in that. But we did invest that money into sponsoring the LA&H neighborhood, and we still do our annual Top Golf that always brings lots of people. You're welcome to come by.
Thank you.
And and so I think ITC they've grown every single year. And I was talking to Josh one day and I said, we were that little kiosk in the back, and the first one we got was free. I think it was through NASRE.
I think it was somehow through like that whole innovation.
Something, yeah.
I think like Michelle Cody or somebody,
And so we came, and then the next year we got a booth. Next year we got a bigger booth, and then now we're at a point to where we bring 10, 12 people here.
Yeah, and that's great. Now, I've got to ask you. I don't know. Do you tell people how many customers you have on your platform? Is that confidential?
Yeah,
or?
no, we've got about 21, and we've got, I believe it's 4 to 5 deliveries going on right now. So
that's great.
Yeah,
that's just great. Okay, so, what'd you do tomorrow?
What do I do? What
are you doing tomorrow for us? Tell me. As I'm sure your investors are always asking you, right?
Yeah. So, where are you going?
yeah. 2025. What's what are the goals there?
I think we're going to double again in 2025. We have doubled every year since we started. We learned a lot through that journey. In the beginning, we had a lot of early implementations that we just didn't know what we didn't know. So we had to make sure that we charged a little more for implementations back then than we did even SaaS on the product, because we didn't know if that was going to be a big issue for us. Once we kind of got through that leg of the journey, and we identified that, no, we've got a few of these implementations under our belt now, we don't have to be so worried about pricing those to basically cover our butts. And so we started shifting the ratio of SaaS to SOW work. It used to be 30% SaaS, 70% services or SOW work, because we didn't know what we didn't know.
Right.
And then over time, we've started shifting that. Now we flip-flopped that. So, the last deal we did was 70% SaaS and 30% services, because we've got enough of them under our belt that we kind of know what we're getting into when we get into these carriers.
Yeah. What do you see the carrier side? I mean, in terms of speed, pace, urgency to modernize some of their platforms? Higher? Is it faster, or is it kind of the same?
Yeah. It's interesting. When COVID hit, we didn't know what that was going to do, and I think the carriers didn't know what that was going to do. But what was interesting is the carriers who were on our platform, we shifted 100% of their claims staff to work remote, and we saw no drop in claims payments and or production. We started seeing use cases come in of carriers processing claims while sitting at their kids' ball games and while, just anywhere. And that was one of our original mottos: anywhere, anytime, any device for all parties involved. And so COVID, I think, really shed a light on the industry to make change. Like, this is something you have to do. It's not something, it's a back burner item anymore. This is something that has to be done. And it's interesting because I was literally on a call just today with one of our newer clients, and they said that one of the reasons we moved so fast during the sales process was because we can't afford another COVID situation. We have to be able to process during those times. And so, a lot of people say that COVID was a hindrance to their business. I would say for ours, it was an accelerant.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's great to see your success.
Yeah. Not my success, our success. We've got a great team.
Your team's success.
Yep.
And listen, I knew you guys were doing something. I knew you were gonna do this. So listen, it's been great to just watch this over the years. And thanks for spending some time here.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. So now, Susan, it's your turn.
Oh, go.
It's your turn now, Susan. So, okay, so 2 years in a row. Okay, you called it on AI year one. You had another great discussion year two, right?
Yep.
What's 2025 going to bring? What are you going to make happen in your network?
Oh boy, you do a crystal ball to me?
Yes.
That's unfair. I do have an 8-ball here, in my office. I could shake it a little bit and ask a question, see where it comes. Yes, no, or maybe, right? We are going to double down on AI innovation. I think we're going to look at that from a standpoint of how the industry is going to be a leader in AI risk, AI aggregation, AI innovation, and we are a regulated industry. So where we have influence on that, we're going to provide whatever guidance and advisory we can there. So I think there's going to be a lot of work in that specific area.
All right. Well, Susan, hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me
Thank you.
there in Las Vegas and back
Las
back
Vegas.
again here. If people want to find out more, startups want to find out about what you're doing in the state of Connecticut, or carriers would like to, what's the best way to contact you
Sure.
or get more information?
And I would say both are very equally invited to give me a call. So reach out to me at through LinkedIn, or you can give me a call. Look on my website at ConnecticutIFS.com. That's Connecticut Insurance Financial Services.com. And you can find me.
Great. Susan, thanks so much. Thanks to our listeners. And be sure to tune in to part 2 of our adventure in Las Vegas. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. If you've enjoyed the show, please rate and recommend us on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also get more information or listen to more episodes at thatannuityshow.com. Nassau Financial Group is always working harder to be your carrier of choice. We build products that help protect people's savings and are dedicated to providing you with best-in-class service. We seek to keep things simple and have your back in the years to come. Nassau is headquartered in Hartford, Connecticut. Learn more at nfg.com.
Zinnia, an Eldridge Industries business, simplifies insurance. It delivers comprehensive solutions for the industry's most critical needs and creates the modern rails of the insurance industry. To learn more about Zinnia, please visit zinnia.com.